what's up, guys? I feel like that's a little better. I was not prepared. What is up, everybody? This is Katrina from In Cat We Trust, and I am not alone. As always, my partner in crime for these amazing shows. I got my girl Shay here with me today. And we're finally giving you guys the last 2 episodes of WWE Evil. It's been a minute, guys. You know, stuff happens. A lot of stuff was going on. But we are doing Ric Flair's episode and Roman Reigns' episode. And if y'all know how I feel about Ric Flair. If y'all know how I feel about Ric Flair, you know. So I guess we can get right into the Ric Flair episode since I have my thoughts. But what was your initial, thoughts about the episode?
It was basically a Dark Side of the Ring episode. It wasn't even WWE Evil. It was WWE Dark Side of the Ring. The same thing. The same things were brought up. It was nothing different at all. And it didn't stick to the plot. I don't feel like it stuck to the plot either. Like, I don't know. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. I feel like if they would have went more of a how we saw Sasha's journey becoming that, or Roman's journey becoming that, and while Randy kind of always was, he kind of always was, and Stephanie was kind of always was. This gave me Undertaker and Kane vibes episode where it was like
bad.
There wasn't too much if you're breaking it down as he's supposed to be one of the biggest heels in the business, you know, he was supposed to be, his thing was he was the dirtiest player in the game.
Right.
I believe that was for Ric Flair. And so you're supposed to be the dirtiest player in the game. You're supposed to be like this ultimate heel. And yet I learned nothing new. And so I always feel like when you're doing these type of documentaries, well, yes, a lot of times because I'm a big wrestling fan, I know a lot of these things already. But usually I would hope when you do these documentaries, it'd be like that 1 or 2 things. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't really get that from Ric Flair's episode. I felt like everything he was talking about, we knew. And so I was just like, okay, I guess if you're supposed to be the dirtiest player in the game, you talk about the 4 horsemen, you know, with his group, and you talk about even he went through quite a few companies, again, being Ric Flair, the Ric Flair, the nature boy. And then I didn't learn anything. So I'm like, oh, I guess. Hey, what's up? And so it's one of those situations where I'm like, all right, Rick, am I going to learn something new about you today? Or is it just going to be you showing us what you did and give a pity story? I feel like some of these, you know, it gave me vibes of the Hulk Hogan episode where I'm like, what are you crying for though? And I'm not, not saying that you can't be sad about certain things. You know, I cry all the time, but I feel like it's a different thing when you're crying and it's because you're really struggling, and then it's another thing because you just didn't you wasn't top dog or top spot. Now you're crying. What should I list all the wrestlers who wish they can get to that level of a career, to get that level of championships, to get that level of prestige to his name? Hey, yes, I was just on that yesterday. So yeah, I just felt like when I see people crying, and I'm like, but why are we crying today?
Why are you crying?
Why are you dude, do you not look at your career? People, not me personally, because I think he was completely overrated, and I knew I'm gonna get some slack as I did the last time I said this, but he was gimmick. I feel like Ric Flair's biggest thing was he was a gimmick. He was over boisterous, flamboyant, loud, extra. And so he was his gimmick. I felt like his wrestling was average. And so when people are like, oh, he's the best wrestler, I'm like, but is he I'm going to have to disagree there. Definitely not one of the best wrestlers, in my opinion, in regards to the things he was able to do in the ring, the things he was able to just, it wasn't hitting the way I guess it should have been hitting. And so, yeah, I think that was it was, I guess it was cool to kind of, again, very little because I'm not a fan. I'm showing, I guess, his matches and his promos. I forgot which one they particularly show when he was doing the, and then the woos. But I feel like the best, and then this is how I know this is again, people are probably feel the way that I'm saying this. I feel like the best thing he gave us was Charlotte. And so, I feel like,
You're onto something.
I'm just saying, like, if you I'm not gonna say here and discredit
Charlotte and that scene with him and Jay Lethal. Come on, that was a pretty.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, okay, so definitely the whole thing with him and Jay Lethal was actually pretty good. Especially because Jay Lethal did it so well that honestly I wouldn't have. See, this is me. I would forget kayfabe, and be like, first of all, we're not gonna be doing this back and forth. We're not doing this. Like, somebody would got slapped by that point. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he was gimmick though. I felt like his wrestling, the way sometimes I hear people talk about him, you expect he's like just pristine ring wise, and I just really disagree with it. I feel like there's so many other wrestlers I can like think of that are better in ring. I felt like he was definitely a gimmick. He knew how to sell that gimmick, and so if you knew nothing else, or if you didn't particularly like the things that he do, well, he had the gimmick. He was definitely the extra with the woos and the weird that I hate. Like when we was at HOG and Lince.
I know. Was it Lince and Dorado?
But he lost points for that because I was like, let's not do that today. He's messing up my Saturday with the shenanigans, and I'm like, you just had to bring, and so he annoyed me with that. But when he does that whole weird thing he does in the ring, or for the whole woo that everybody likes that he does and everything, and so that part, yes, he was definitely his gimmick. I can give him that. It's really, I can, I guess, give credit where credit is due begrudgingly. But it's just like, even now, I'm just gonna have to. I mean, maybe in-ring psychology. Maybe I'll give you the in-ring psychology. I'll give you that. Because it definitely was, and it's not even technically. You don't have to even be like a great technical wrestler. I love Jeff Hardy. He's not a technical wrestler. It's not like Jeff Hardy got famous for technical wrestling. He definitely did not. And so it's not that. I just feel like, when you really look, you're a kid and you're growing up and you hear about Ric Flair and it's like all these things. And then you get to really pay attention when you're older. You can appreciate more because you can like go walk. And I'm like,
yeah.
Was he really? Are we really gonna act like he was like one of the like top? Stop it. I feel like that's the thing. And again, I'm not saying people's faves are all great technical wrestlers. We know that's also not true. I'm just saying that it's not like, again, I'm not discrediting what wrestling was back then. I'm just saying that I feel like he's definitely, in my opinion, a bit overrated. But I can acknowledge as far as the time period, as far as, again, he was gimmick. He definitely knew how to talk some shit on the mic. And I respect a good shit talker. If I like you or not, I can respect somebody who can truly talk some shit. I'm like, okay, I might want to slap you, but I hear you. Like, I'm listening. And so that's my thing with Ric Flair. But I did feel with his, because we knew he was the dirtiest player of the game. I wish they would have gave us some more, as far as things we might not have known about, things that he was doing and stuff. They didn't give us that much insight into like things we didn't know already or things we didn't already see.
Right.
So that was my only thing. I just wish they would have given us some more insight into that. And yes, the whole Jay Lethal and Ric Flair thing was definitely funny because Jay Lethal was clearly getting under his skin, and I think that's why it worked so well. I don't think everybody can pull that off in that manner either. But here we are. So that, I guess that was like my initial thought. Yeah, and I get agitated every time.
Yeah,
every time I hear the woo, I just want to punch people in the throat. Like, do we need to woo every time? Is this really a woo moment because somebody got slapped? Like, should I start wooing when I slap somebody? Not that I beat up people because that's not I don't do that. But if I was to beat somebody up, should I just start slapping somebody and go woo because I slapped somebody? Like, do we need to do that every time? Probably not. Probably not. But yeah, I can respect for certain things. Yes.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm super violent. I'm not violent. It's just like
when it's really hot. Like if I walk outside and it's blazing, like woo!
Same. Like, if it's really hot outside, yes, definitely if it's like super hot, I'm like, all right, it's kind of hot. Ooh, don't listen. Nikki's not in this, but if she pops up, I'm just gonna say that you said this, just so we're clear. I didn't say it. And Nikki definitely is one of Charlotte's biggest fans. Let's not do it. Let's not do it. So, yeah. I listen. I always try to be 100% how I am with my thoughts. Like I said, I can. This again with Hulk Hogan. I do not like Hulk Hogan at all. But I can respect what he did for that time period and what he was for wrestling, and I can respect that and still not like him. So Ric Flair's one of those, like, I respect what he was for wrestling. I respect what he's done in that regard. I just think he was definitely overhyped. And so this is why now when people overhype things, I'm usually like skeptical, because I'm like, are we really like serious about this? Or are we going to overhype?
Right.
You know, I can admit my biases about things. So like, I like somebody, I'm a bit biased, and so I'm probably going to be like over the top about it. But I can admit that, you know, I can be like, okay, it's not like this is like really technical expertise. It's just I'm a bit biased because, like, hello, but that's it. So I think that was my basically, like, I felt like I wish we could have learned something new. That was in documentary. I felt like this really wasn't, like, again, at least with the Sasha Banks episode, we kind of see, like, they was explaining her, like, we heard about it. Not like, for instance, some of the stuff that she was doing, like, when she was talking about promos and stuff, I actually did not know that about Sasha Banks until she said it in that documentary. And so I was like, all right, like, something new I didn't know. Like, the fact that, you know, when we get to the next episode, when they were saying, like, he kind of was kind of shitty when I was like, oh, you was? Like, I didn't know that he was kind of, like, doing the most as a kid. Like, that stuff, like, nice, something I didn't know before. You want people to know something new in documentaries. I feel like that was missing from this episode. Much like the Brothers of Destruction, I just really wish they would have gave something we didn't know already. Like, it was everything we already knew over the years. It's like, give us some more insight into what made you guys be like, click more than just like, oh, we knew you guys were the brothers with the deception. We knew you guys was deceptive. We knew this already. We was deceived. Okay, we was bamboozled. We was hoodwinked. Okay, you know, we understand all that. Y'all told me nothing new. Like, Ric Flair, we know you like to woo. We got it. Yeah. We know you was the dirtiest player in the game. You was good for doing underhanded techniques. We know this, but what's something I didn't know? And so that's all. But I did like that he mentioned Charlotte Flair because, you know, say what you will, sis has done some stuff, okay? And I'm not here to argue as far as like her. I'm not gonna say act like she's technical, but she has a lot of skill set more than some other people, I would say, over the years. And, you know, for somebody to be as tall as she is, you know, certain moves she do very well for height that, you know, kind of got a questionable sometimes when you got people with their long or something. So I guess that's like basically like, I did tell you guys you probably was going to get like super, hey, thank you for popping in. But yeah, not saying that, you know, it was a terrible episode, but it wasn't like
we didn't learn anything new.
That was the only thing. I was just, I really wish with it, like a documentary, it's always like, oh shit, I didn't know that. Like, I always, when I'm watching documentaries, I always want to know something I didn't.
I had hope. Here's the thing, I had hope. But then once we got to the WCW part and it comes with the story, I was like, all right. That was it.
I mean, he definitely was good for the extra. He definitely was. But that's all. I just feel like when I'm watching a documentary, I want to learn something I did not know before. So I'm like, oh, all right, like teach me something new. That's all. That's all. But otherwise, it wasn't terrible. But it wasn't like it's not an episode like I would have watched again.
Yeah, no.
Definitely wasn't one I would watch again. Again, I'm not really a fan of Ric Flair, so it was just like, you know, with some of these episodes, I was definitely like the side eye and the eye roll and like, believe this, he picked up WWE. But I get it. Again, dirtiest player in the game. Gotta give. He will fall under what's evil. Yeah. Of you know, a character, I guess. I mean, they didn't give us Vince McMahon, but I feel like they ever do that, it won't be what we need it to be. It won't be the deep dive we probably needed to Vince McMahon. It will not be. They're going to be so extra clean and PG with it that we're not going to learn nothing new at all, because it's going to be like, oh, Vince's character was evil. But if we talk about all the other shit, they're not going to tell us. So, They're gonna play it safe with these. They're playing it safe with some of these evil episodes. Playing it super safe because
yeah. I really feel like they should have had more heavy hitters for like the first season. I feel like Brothers of Destruction episode. Maybe you could have saved that for like a 2 or 3 season, like back. Those first like few episodes, the first season need to be like heavy hitters to solidify the show. You got some weak ones. Brothers of Destruction. Yeah. This one, Hope was like a little bit like whatever because you're lying. You're like, I lost it all. Nobody care about me. I'm like, I freaking what? You know how many wrestlers wish that level of forgetful that the people were about them at the time? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I can't be bothered. So they needed to have heavy hitters. I needed real heels. Maybe Jake the Snake. I needed a little bit more heavy. That's fine.
I agree. Definitely did need some more. I mean, hopefully this is another season that we'll get some ones where it's like, all right, you want to see like, again, we know it's all in gimmick. And we know it's part of the gimmicks. That's the evil. I mean, well, if you want to get technical, I guess that's Dark Side of the Ring for the evil outside the ring. But as far as inside the ring, yes. What people who we knew was just like, just like how Randy was perfect because Randy was always doing some shit. Like when I say, as I said when we did this episode, he irked the soul to know. Ron, literally, it's just, I was watching The Conjuring because I do watch that on like repeat for no reason whatsoever. I do watch The Conjuring like with the soundtrack just because I don't know. I like horror movies and that's what it is. And so for me, this is nothing. And so I watched it so much now that it's like background noise. And so it was on. So it's just the Netflix screen playing in the background.
Oh, okay.
That's all. So nothing's actually playing. It's just like, you know, the little screens that go by when Netflix is idle. So that's what's happening. But yeah, like Randy Orton legitimately was doing some shit that pissed me off as a kid. Like I was like, you were evil. And then when he was like legend killer, you're going after the legends. You punt kicking people to the point where the memes was like he punt kicked people into AEW.
I remember.
You know, just saying like that's some evil stuff. Like you like, okay, he's an asshole. Like that's all I'm saying. We definitely need some more people. And yes, I would love an Edge evil because he was another one that irked my soul as a kid. I wanted to punch his stupid face so many times. He was like the little dumb little faces, like face extra long. He wouldn't be smiling. Like, what are you smiling for, bro? Why are you smiling? What's funny about this? He used to really piss me off. So I would love to see like how, as far as his thing to like, you know, the Brood to like his thing with him being mad annoying with Christian to like his solo, you know, the Opportunists. I would love to actually see that.
That was so iconic. I'm sorry, that whole era was so iconic. I can't lie.
Oh God, he used to really upset me. Mean Edge would have had some words, you know. Mean Edge would have had some words if I knew. Like, listen here, none of that. Okay, none of that.
Fantastic. Put this out there.
Yeah, listen, I love me a horror movie, but I'm a firm believer in there's the things I would not be a part of. So, like, real life, like serial killers, and like I'm sitting here, like, let me answer my phone, let me not lock my door. That is dope. We don't do those. Haunted house, like, oh, let's explore. Not Katrina. No. If y'all want to do it, and I can watch what people do this because it's you guys do what people shit. And so, what things happen to y'all, and I can't feel bad about it because you guys do white people shit. You know what white people shit is? The woods for no reason. Let's go camp in the woods. Somebody got murdered. Yay, let's camp. Let's split up. Let's go to a place where there's no cell phone service, and now people died. And now you're surprised. Why are we surprised? Why are we surprised? Somebody got, like, all these people supposedly the house is haunted. Let's move in with the family. And now you're haunted too. Well, what did you thought was going to happen? What did you think? Ouija boards? Oh, you know, it ain't that serious. Let's not follow any of the rules, and now shit's coming for me. And I'm supposed to feel bad for you? Hell no. I think it's funny. Right. And you got the creepy little white kids. There's always the creepy white kids. And I'm like, oh, you know what? So, all I'm saying is, I don't personally can't be in this kind of stuff. I know better. I feel like I'm too smart for these shenanigans. But I can watch people happen to them because it's not me. So I'm laughing like, oh, look at you guys doing dumb stuff. That's all. The thing with him and Lita is, I know people like to call me out for this, but knowing that I know Matt Hardy was not as innocent as people think he was in this whole situation, You know, he did admit some time ago that he definitely was doing some stuff with Lita. I think the issue was because he knew Edge. But he definitely wasn't as innocent as people think he was. That's why. Just saying.
You know what's so crazy is men never can take when you pull a them. I'm heartbroken. I'm calling into Afterbite. What was it? After? How could you do this? Like.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not. Again, I personally believe if it's that much of a situation, definitely end it before you move on. I don't. That's too much drama and shenanigans for me personally. I feel like if I feel like that extra, might as well just leave and then go be with who to make happy. But he definitely wasn't as innocent as people think he is, and I think men always forget this part. He definitely wasn't as innocent in the situation. It wasn't he was just a good old boyfriend working hard and she just like did him dirty. Like it was kind of shitty to be with his friend, of course. But Edge, it also, I feel like Lita got more of the shitty end of that stick than Edge did, because Edge thrived. He thrived. He's able to thrive and all of that, and able to like look at his career after that. He literally thrived after that. He still gets, praised even after all this. Lita's the one like, oh, she's all of this. I'm like, did she do this by herself? Did she do this by herself? Was an Edge part of this? And so, double standards. But let's not. I don't want to go on a rant because I would have been a whole rant. No, listen, we're not. You see why we're doing this? I do not ghost hunt. I don't do those type of shit. That is white people shit. I need you to understand when I say I do not engage in white people shit. I will watch it because it's not me. Like, ooh, this is dummy on TV, and I'm laughing because look at you being dumb. Right. Me though, absolutely not. I ain't crazy. I'm not ghost hunting nothing. I don't want to know what happened to you. That is what Google's for. If I really want to know that, but I can Google it. I am not going to the house to look. Let me go. Let me go see what happened.
From the show, though, do you know what I get from those shows though? Ghost Adventures. I got from Zach when he be talking to the ghost. So now if I hear like a sound in my house, I'll be like, if you a real bitch, you'll come out.
See, not me. If I even suspect anything is, I'm like, listen, I don't want to see you. I don't want you here. We're not friends. Don't do that in my space. It's my space. I will sage the fuck out of.
No, I'm an antagonizer. I'm like, come out, you're a real one.
I'm just saying, I'm not laughing, but I'm so serious. Like, this is why I can watch horror movies, because it's not me. Because I'm not stupid enough to put myself in a situation like this. I'm not dumb. Not gonna be having me sitting here like, oh girl, I just moved. We gonna be. Let's go spend the night in an asylum. Why? I got a bed at home. I don't need to do all that. It's fine. We're good. Wow. I know we just went totally left with that, but I'm just saying, because the thing in the background. So that's all.
Ready to move on to Roman, though? We spent way too much time on Mr. Rick.
We did. Let's move on to the last episode of this season, I'm guessing, which is the tribal chief, the head of the table, the big dog, his yard, because, I am definitely
One's in the chat. One's in the chat. Come on.
He's all the things you want a man to be in this. Listen, you're about to get me all. Listen. Listen. Y'all don't even understand how I feel about Roman Reigns. Okay, I'm gonna listen. I was this man's fan before all of this. Okay, there was a meme like I was a fan of Face Roman. I'm like, yes, me. I was a fan of Face Roman. Okay, I was a fan of him before all of this tribal chief stuff. And I'm like, when he came out talking his shit, I was like, all right, Joe. I'm going to use the regular name now. All right, Joseph. Okay, you got it.
Not Joseph.
You are the head of my table. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm just saying, listen, if y'all have not known by now, I'm a big Roman Reigns fan. That is Bane. So he has 3 kids now, so we got to, yes. You know what? You were absolutely right. Let me just turn my fan by me. Turn my fan. Let me turn my fan over. I'm trying to make sure my lights not getting too. He's actually twice. How old do you think I am? I think I'm older than Roman, actually. Now I'm going to check. I actually believe that I'm older than Roman Reigns. Let me.
No, I don't think so.
Hold on. Oh no. Okay, he got a couple of years on me. I got that wrong.
I'm like, girl. Now listen.
My bad. So he's not twice my age. We're actually very close in age.
I can know that.
It's literally he got he got like mad kids, and that's where I have to draw the line because I have my own kids. We don't need a whole baseball team. That's where I have to draw the line.
It's giving
Like,
Brady Bunch.
Like, I can't. He got like I think 5 kids or so, and I think he got like a set of twins or something like that. And I just
He does. Yeah, he has 2 little boys.
twins. Like I'm a twin, and I don't know how the hell my mom did it with us, and so I don't know. And then Roman Reigns is like traveling shit. So I mean, his wife like do all these kids. All I'm saying is not Katrina. Like I'm just here for a good time. Good time. That's it. Not good for a good time, not for this mob stuff. Okay. So I'm just saying that we can't do that's the only reason we can't blend it. There's just too much happening with his kids, and I just can't. Yeah, I think he has 5. I think he has 5. Like I think he has like 2 girls and 3 boys, something like that. He has quite a few kids now. So no, that's dope. Not me. But I was a fan of good old Roman Reigns when he was still doing those weird promos in NXT. Well, he was trying so hard to get his promos off. And I'm like, it's okay though. You fine. And so this is passable. Right. I'm admitting to my bias though. He's a fine man, and so I let a lot of things slide because he's fine. A lot of things did slide because he had to get better, and like his promos had to get better. I think Paul Heyman has definitely helped him along with getting better with saying some stuff. But I think it was nice to hear like when the Usos was talking about him, for instance.
Yeah.
And it was like he was an asshole. And I'm like, he was like, I think he maybe was a nice little kid. No, he was an asshole. And then I thought about it, like, sometimes older family members can be assholes. I definitely wasn't that
good. And come on.
I had to think about that. I'm thinking about like when I was a kid and my sister wanted to be the Pink Ranger. And I was like, you have no choice. You will be the Yellow Ranger because pink is my favorite color, and you have no choice in this. And so I'm Pink Ranger and you're Yellow Ranger because I'm the older sister. And so I was like, you know what? I've definitely done the whole older sibling, older family member ride. Like it's what I say goes.
What happened?
Like it's mean, but it also isn't mean though. Like, is this why this works now that he was threatening you guys and having you guys by the necks because he was doing this when you guys were kids? Like I feel like y'all should have known this already. You should have known. Hey, Charmaine, what is up?
Hi.
But I did like the episode. I did think like him embracing the heel part of him worked so well. Mm-hmm. I feel like all the people that was hating on him when he was with the Shield. Look at them now. Look at y'all now. Okay, you want to come into the fandom that we was here already. We was already fans. I think him being like the whole head of the table. I feel like the only thing that can make this better is if he goes against The Rock and beats The Rock.
Yes, sir.
That's the only thing. I feel like that's what, because The Rock's, their family is so big and there's so many of them.
Yeah.
There's so many of them that it's like, okay, you said you had your dad came out, you had your uncle came out when you went against Jey Uso. And hey Stan, what is up? Thank you for popping in. Also, definitely check out Stan. He is a wrestler, super amazing. Also, that R&B, as I say, R&B, because he'll sing and then beat your ass. And I
respect picture. Hell yeah!
Listen, so that's just a joke. If you haven't checked out a Stan Michael match, please definitely go do that. Super awesome. But yeah, just saying. It helped that he was able to come. I feel like if we can truly solidify him as the head of the table, he needs to defeat The Rock. Now, I don't know if they're going to do it because it is The Rock.
I don't know.
See, listen, you right. Rhythm and beatdown, that works too. I just like
rhythm. So I just gonna have to beat someone down.
I mean, I got some rhythm. Like I can do like the basics and like a couple of steps. When I start popping and locking out, you might have to throw me out. I might have to just get thrown.
Fine.
No, I don't know. It's not. I'm not crazy. Like, I feel like if I meet Roman Reigns, I'll probably cry. So I'll probably cry. I probably would cry like I do in a Jeff Hardy. I was crying. I was like, he's drinking water right here, and I started crying. And so I don't know. I feel like if I get to be in his presence, I wouldn't know what to say. And I'll probably miss up my chance. Like, dude.
Yeah. No,
I would probably get a chance to tell him I dead ass wrote a book character after you, because I definitely did. I definitely did. Based the whole book character off Roman Reigns, because hello, look at him. But yeah, all I'm saying is I think it was if he can beat. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Definitely. That's all I do. A good 2-step, did a couple of steps, a little bit of, and then I'm gone. Then I can just move on about my. Speaking of Jacob Stan, I just saw him again at HOG. He actually remembered who I was, and I was like, "Oh, you did?" Because that was it was over a year ago. He apparently remembered who I was, and so that was cool. I don't know who.
Yeah, I have a terrible mic. This is just the life that I've been living for many years.
But yeah, if he can beat The Rock, and I'm hoping we get that next year, I'm thinking 2023, I'm hoping we get it, then he can be solidified as the head of the table. Because The Rock is the biggest, he was the family member that made the biggest, success. You was like one of the top known WWE stars, but then you also got like, now you're a big movie star. Everybody knows who you are now. I feel like the only way to truly solidify that is if Roman takes on Dwayne and win. Don't know if they're gonna make it happen though, because he is The Rock, and that might be the one to defeat him or in some capacity. I don't know, but we'll see. I feel like that, but I did like him. Then he was like, I got to kind of be more like myself, and I'm like, so you're an asshole. Like, I don't know if I can like this in like real life, because you were talking to me kind of spicy. I'm gonna probably have to argue back. We're not doing. First of all, listen here. Now, it's all fun and games. What I'm saying, like he's the head of my table, and correct, but you can only say that in certain situations. You can't keep talking about that all regular. And I'm gonna be like, okay, like excuse me. What you said, Joseph? Let's try it again with a better tone. That would be me. so personally, that's not like how he was talking to Jay Uso when he was gaslighting the shit out of Jay, because he was gaslighting. He was so good. He like, oh, let me talk some really shitty things to you, and then bring it in like, bro, you just violated, and then it's like gaslighting, typical like abusive behavior. And I'm like, you can't be talking to me like that. I'm like, excuse me, what you said? I'm just in the whole government. Like, so what? So he can only talk to me like this, and like, he can only do this, it can only happen if, it's in certain situations. It cannot be with him talking like this all regular. Like, he goes to, I'm the head of the table. I'm like, oh, and we are? Like, do you cook? Because that's what I'm going to have to, now I got to ask these kind of questions. Do you cook? Okay, is this that's all I'm saying is Roman can't talk to me crazy unless certain situations allow for talking to me crazy. That's all I'm saying. My mouth is equal for everybody. I talk shit to everybody, so not gonna talk to me all kinds of crazy. Like, he's not gonna talk to me the way he was talking to Jey Uso. That's a whole no. We're gonna be arguing. Like, let's try this again.
Talk. I'm sorry, I said it too excited.
That's right. He better remember that we don't. I will call full names quick. Like, let's not play this, Joseph. Let's not play. Let's try this again with a better tone. Okay.
And you know what? This is gonna be him when you say that. Hold up, I'm gonna put this on real quick.
This is that ass whooping I was talking about. This is the ass whooping I was talking about.
That's gonna be him. That's gonna be y'all later. Later that
imagine me saying all that. He just take a shit off, and then I'm gonna be like, you know what? You right. Who was I thinking? What was I thinking? My bad. Listen, you're gonna do what you gotta do sometimes. His first purpose of the name's quick. He can get acknowledged in certain situations, okay? But he's not gonna be talking to me all crazy like how he was doing Jey Uso. Absolutely not. They'll be talking to me all kind of crazy. Can't be talking to me crazy. Can't be talking to me all kind of crazy. Y'all laughing, but I'm so serious. You guys are making me laugh in these comments. Stop. Okay. Oh my God, you guys, listen. Let me behave. And I did not meditate. Stop those shenanigans right now. Shenanigans. But yes, it was really cool to see him. I remember I was in the Thunderdome. And so those of you guys who know I was in Thunderdome very often during the quarantine period. I was in there almost every show talking shit. And so when he came back, and he did the spear, I damn near fell out my chair. And I was just so glad the cameras didn't catch that, because I was actually on the middle of the screen for a good portion of time until he came. I was like, oh, thank God, because I would have been so embarrassed to see me. I was like, oh shit. And I leaned to the side, and that was it. I had to get myself together, but I was hype. And that's when I knew the greatness is coming back to be the tribal chief that he is. And I'm just like, you know what? Look at y'all. Look at y'all. You don't even know. I was already on it. I already knew what the greatness was. And like, look at this. We got like, how long he been champion now? It's been some time. He's been champion for some time.
300 plus.
And I like Drew McIntyre and all, but I was like, you're not Roman Reigns.
Wait, let me put it back. We can do it at the same time, stop it.
I definitely was. I definitely was. I was in them quite often, to the point where I think they asked me to go into that Saudi Arabia show, and I'm like, nah, guys, my ass ain't gonna be up for this. But I appreciate it. They definitely sent me an email for the Saudi Arabia show, and I'm like, am I really here this much that you guys want me in here for the? Oh, my bad. Like, imagine the one black girl with a whole bunch of Saudi guys, because that's what it would have been if I went. But yes, I definitely wasn't Thunderdome a lot. And so Roman, I believe there was one clip that was on the documentary, which I was hyped about. He shows one of the Thunderdome clips where he's in the ring, and I am right there in the middle of the screen. And I was like, look, they know so much that I even made it to his documentary. I was super hyped about that, because I was like, oh, look at me right there on the screen, because it was the scene he was talking, and I was just like this in the audience. And then I was like, and now I just... and then I was like, look at me making it to his Evil documentary. I was even in his episode. He knows what it is. Sorry, I know he got his wife and all. Galena, I'm sorry, girl. I like just for fun though. I'm just here for fun. You can have all the other stuff. Got time for all that.
You can have his heart.
I don't need all this. I don't need all this. So I definitely was in his little documentary episode. I was right there on the screen. I was like, ooh, look at me right there. You said, I mean, I'm kind of like, I just like that time. What is that, like 2:00 in the morning? Like, I don't got time for that. So I gotta rest, okay? But I definitely got the email. And I was like, oh, you guys like me this much? And I felt like every time I used to talk shit, the producer put me in the middle of the screen. Every time I started talking shit, I was like, oh shit, I'm in the middle of the screen. Every time I was talking shit. So I guess they heard me.
Speak up. Speak up. We want to hear.
Listen, I was there a lot. I definitely was. I was in quite a few from SummerSlam on before they stopped doing it. So it was like, sure, why not? Whatever, kill some time.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, see, but I'm respectful. Like, I've heard some crazy stuff said. I don't say some stuff I've heard. All I'm saying is I'm here for good time. Like,
I'll be lying. That's it.
Like maybe you could just do some house chores or something. Like I might maybe maybe you could paint the walls and just take your shirt off. Like, and then I'll cut the AC off so you can sweat a little bit, just so I can just see.
You monster.
I mean, I'll cut it back on, but just like in the beginning, get a little bit sweat worked up. And then I'm like, oh, my bad. Let me put the air back on. Offer him some lemonade after he worked all hard.
He has the whole thing, like, you're a whole mastermind. I'm watching you.
I'm just saying. I don't need him the whole time because he got too many kids for me. I got my own. I don't need to add that many to mine. But just saying. It's like, but otherwise, my whole little. I just want a whole tangent. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. It's just Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
I did warn you guys that this might happen now because I did tell you guys like if there's a big possibility I might go on a whole tangent because look at him.
We were expecting it.
I remember one guy did this and he was like saying, I'm like, do you see him and do you see you? And not to be that way, but I'm like, how? I mean, no. Okay, so I would feed kids. I don't believe in letting kids. I don't believe in like feed. I think that's really shitty to not feed kids if kids is there. So what I would probably do is do like mad shit and like, okay, y'all can split this because McDonald's is not cheap now. Like trying to DoorDash McDonald's when they want you to pay like $4 for a burger. Like, excuse me?
No, they wow.
So, but I don't believe in letting kids starve. But he got too many kids. Like I'm just trying to think about stress right now. Like knowing my own, like my son, for instance, who'd like to do shenanigans and push my buttons. I can just see this right now. It's gonna be some shenanigans, and now I gotta flip a kid. I want to do all that. We don't want to do all that, and so because I don't like badass kids. I just personally don't. I don't like a bad kid. I am quick to be like, listen here, little shit. Not to my own kids because be respectful, but to like somebody else's raggedy ass kid that's bad, I might have to look at them like I will flip you quick. Like that's not. I'm all for again, like as Sasha was saying, fuck kids. Same. Sometimes kids need to be let them know. Like sometimes Sometimes you gotta let the kids know. So I don't know. What if this kid's bad or something? And now I gotta sit here and pretend. I like kids. Don't do all that. Just to avoid all that, we just fun. Good times and fun. That's it. I think, does he really have all boys? Goddamn. One
That's
girl.
crazy.
See, and that's another thing. Like, poor girl. I mean, granted, they might be protective over her, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, my siblings are pretty even, but I'm the protective one, so it's like I'm the smallest one, the oldest one, but also the most protective. I'll be ready. I'm that sister that is like, who said what? Let's just pin my hair up real quick. What's the beef? I'm quick. I'm that sister. So I don't know if she's gonna be like how I am as an older sister, or is it gonna be like because they're her brothers and she's the only girl, and they'd be really protective of her.
She's that sister, and I'm the other sister that's being protected.
Yeah, I'm the being the oldest. I'm that sister. Like, quick. I'm like, excuse, who did what? Do I need to come there? And then it doesn't help when people think I'm like. When I was like back then, people thought I was like my sister's age, and I'm like, I am not. But if you want to, I could beat you up and get away with it. Cool. Like, if you want to think I'm your age, so be it. But like, I don't do that whole bullying stuff, and so that's what it is. I don't like bullies, and so I'm quick. So I'm curious, like, if she's gonna be the big sister, like how I'm the big sister, or is it gonna be like, no, you're the only girl. We got you.
Only girl, she gonna know how to fight.
I feel like yes, if she's the only girl, they're definitely gonna make sure she knows how to fight. Usually, brothers. Or like, rough you up and then you learn.
What? Oh, but yes. What was the last thing we were talking about?
About I think Paul Heyman. So get back on track. I think Paul Heyman definitely helped. Paul Heyman, I think, is really good with mic work. He's really good with getting heels to kind of come out of these shows, and I like fucking hated Brock Lesnar. And even that storyline, even with that storyline with the whole Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns and kind of Paul Heyman kind of choosing even that was done really well. That I'm like, how he used to go extra about Brock Lesnar, just pissed me off. I'm like, nobody cares about Brock Lesnar, ill. And he used to go like Brock Lesnar and say his name all extra. You get irritated and stuff. But then when he was at Roman Reigns, and I'm like, you picked the right one. Let's not play, Paul. Let's not play. Let's not play. Let's pick the right, let's not play. He picked the right one. Oh, well, thank you. Oh my God. Well, I appreciate you. That's super awesome. I mean, I don't know if I have that much education, but I appreciate you so much. That is super awesome. Thank you so much for coming, for watching us at 4 a.m. I'm curious where you are, because that's crazy. I respect that. That is super awesome. Thank you. Yes, he definitely was. I think it helped. It helped solidify him as an asshole. And like I said, he put his own family down. His own family. Like I said, he was definitely mentally abusing Jey Uso. Like, he was so mentally abusing him. Like, that was so it was just so much gaslight. I'm like, dude, like, you didn't just say all this and try to bring it in for a hug after all this. Like, you get beat up and then, like, come here for the hug. Bring it in. Like,
honestly, wouldn't you do that to someone who does this at your door? Come on, be honest.
Open the door, I ain't leaving it. Jey Uso and Roman Reigns live.
If you do that to me, I'm bully you too.
You're right. I mean,
but can I say I loved how Paul like added the whole. Oh, the first people to look over me were Roman's dad and his uncle. I was like, oh, Paul is so good at he just wraps everything together and makes it make sense. Oh.
And then I also like that with Brock Lesnar, Paul was always like an advocate, but with Roman, it's like he was afraid of Roman. And I love that little touch. Like, Roman terrified him. And so he always seemed scared when he was talking about him, like he was afraid of him. And I'm like, if this doesn't, like, you got a guy like Paul Heyman. He's Paul Heyman. He's scared of you too. Like, I thought that was a really good detail that made the character work a lot more. You got Paul Heyman who's sitting here acting like you terrify him when he was just sitting here with supposed to be the beast incarnate. That's Brock Lesnar. You got somebody like Brock Lesnar who's supposed to be this like guy who could just demolish everything, and now you get to Roman Reigns and you're like afraid of him. Like, you make sure you don't want to disappoint him in any way. I think that was a good I think Paul Heyman, it's like perfect when it comes to just doing what's necessary for everything to work the way it needs to work. I felt like that really helped it seal it. And then beating up Jey Uso, having Jey Uso, like that whole the Rocky 4 memes from that match, which was everything.
Yeah.
It was like, if he dies, he dies. And I'm like, yo, he was so mean to Jey Uso. And so, like, if you can do this to the person you grew up with him. Like, this is like your brother to an extent. Like, if you could do that to him, like I feel like everybody else is fair game, and so I like it. I don't know who can challenge him next though, because they made him damn near like unstoppable, and so it has to be believable enough that you're like, oh, okay. Like people said Drew, but I'm like, he beat Drew, so it's like, could I buy it? I mean, not saying you can't come back and do it again. Of course you can. It's wrestling. But I feel like whoever it is, and that's why he definitely needs to beat The Rock first. And then if he loses it afterwards, I feel like even though he already proved what he needed to prove. But we'll see, because it feels like, he's taking his time. He's taking his days off.
As he should.
I can see Braun. I feel like Braun is definitely a superstar in the making. He definitely got the look. I don't really like singlets, but the singlet worked on him. I hate singlets, but it works on him. And so whenever he gets there, actually, like I said, let the Rock Roman match happen. And then if Braun is the one to dethrone him, I feel it because he's a new face too. He's a new face, and so it will work. It will work a lot because of it. So I can see it. I can definitely see it. And definitely agree. It definitely was really good storytelling. And like I felt like the expressions, him talking to him. And yeah, it was good. That's probably one of my favorite matches of Roman's because it was so mean. He was so mean to him. I was like, yes, Roman. I was like, oh, not Jade. But like, yes, but oh, like inside a little bit, oh, but also, yes. Yes, Joe knows. He knows. But yeah. So I thought this was a good episode. Again, I didn't know he was a bit of apparently they said he was an asshole before. So I'm like, oh, okay. So you was always this way. And I didn't know that. Again, I like to know something I didn't know before. And so I knew. This is why I said, like, if you really are an asshole, like, Kim talking to me kind of crazy because I have to let you know, not me. Let's try this again. A little bit of better tone, okay? Do better.
No.
But yeah, I love the episode. Obviously, my favorite episode of the season because it's Roman Reigns. Biasly saying because it's him. Though I would say Randy Orton is probably a worse heel because Randy Orton really like got on. I feel like it's hard to like boo Roman because even in the Thunderdome they say boo him. I'm like, I'm not booing Roman. I was like, I would never boo him. Like every time they said that, I would always say out loud, I am not booing Roman Reigns. Like y'all lost your minds. I'm gonna cheer the hell out of him, and I always did. And so I feel like I can't really boo him. Randy Orton, I booed quite a few times. I feel like he was a heel that irked me so much that I had to boo him. I feel like I never booed Roman Reigns, so I don't know what he has to do to make me boo him and make me be like, oh no. I don't think he can do that though. I just, I don't see it happening. I don't think I'm like, oh my God, no. I mean, you know what? I can see it. I definitely can see it because Austin Theory do irk my soul. He does. Not that he did anything. Just something about his face just bothers me. I don't even necessarily do anything. I don't like his face. He smiles and I'm like, I just want to slap
Logan
your
Paul. No, Logan Paul's gonna be the one to dethrone Roman. It's gonna be Logan Paul. That's who's taking the title off of Roman.
Let's like, okay, listen.
Would you imagine? Can you imagine? I'm not even going on Twitter for like a month. Not even a day.
The way I will make my way to Connecticut, they better not play with me. Like I would be right. Like I will fight with Vince McMahon live and be like, listen here, Vincent. What is these shenanigans? What is this? The way I will find all the family members. I will go to some. Like, don't play with me. Like Linda, I know you got stuff happening, but what is this?
It's like I don't know who has the power right now, but somebody gonna hear it.
Like, don't play. Don't put that negative energy in the air. I'm just got me upset. Like don't put that in the air like that. Oh God.
Why is she really like? It could happen. She's thinking about it. Listen,
like, listen. I'll probably just be like, you know what, guys, we're not getting no wrestling from me for a bit. I need a break. I'll be so devastated. I would be devastated. Like it's not even known. Like the rat. Like I said, I'll be right in Connecticut. I will find where they all live and be like, first of all, how dare you guys? How dare you? Of all the people, Logan Paul. Okay, I'm sorry. I had a moment. Like, you know, people go on Snapped. And so there's like a lot of Katrinas on Snapped. I'm going to be on Snapped. But like, what happened? Oh, they just had this person beat Roman. Him. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to be on Snapped. Y'all don't need that. But, y'all don't need that. But, yes, I mean, that's basically it. It was a really good episode. I did like it. Obviously. And I'm hoping whenever we get a season 2 that they get some more actual villainous people. Like I said, I would love a Vince McMahon one if they really got into it. Like if they really put some shit out there. I feel like it can't be what we already know. It has to be something else. It can't be what we know. I swear I will find Vincent's house. Don't play.
Why am I catching strays?
Listen here, Vincent. Listen here. This just I'm stressed. Now I'm really stressed. Like, listen, let's not play. Let's not play like that. But otherwise, this was a good end to the series. I really liked it. There are some people I would love to see. I would love to see Edge. I think he was somebody I would really appreciate.
Oh yes, say top 5. Say top 5, and I'll say my top 5 and what I want to see. Okay, you do. Yeah.
My top 5 are Roman, clearly. Roman,
top 4 for next season, like the top 5 you want.
Oh, my bad. So yeah, Edge. I would like to see Edge.
Okay.
I would like to see Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
Because he, like, behind the scenes, Shawn Michaels was such an asshole. And so, like, and when he did, so, him, let's see, if there's any women I would like to see. I would like to see Jazz only because how she was, I mean, and I love Jazz, but I would love to see, like, the mindset behind as far as, because she was kind of villainous when she came to WWE. They had her, like, demolishing everybody. So I wouldn't mind seeing it. And I wouldn't mind seeing Triple H either. I feel like Triple H, because Triple H pissed me off so much as a kid. Every time I saw his face, I would just like rage. So I wouldn't mind seeing his because he definitely was an asshole. Like he was fucking annoying. He irked my soul too.
Terrible.
And maybe Eddie, like I know I just added an extra one, maybe Eddie Guerrero, because while we all love him, he was such an he was such a heel. But I love him, but he was such a heel. And so I would love to like if somebody can do, even though he can't talk for himself per se, I would love to do like an Eddie Guerrero one where it's just based off his heel tactics alone. So those are my group.
Yeah. If I would say mine, I would say Trish Stratus because I feel like her heel run, like I'd say the 2004 one was like epic, super iconic. Even her early one when she first came in, I mean, you could do a little bit of that, but I feel like the 04 heel.
Thanks
Trish,
for coming in.
Bye. 04 heel Trish was iconic. Then I would say, I'm thinking, okay, Kevin Nash. I feel like Kevin Nash is a good one. I love him. Then I would say, this is really hard, actually, thinking about it. As I said earlier, I said Jake the Snake. I think that's a good one. I'm inclined to agree with you. I'm going to double it and say I'm inclined to agree about Shawn Michaels. So I'm just going to put that one on my list too. And then I'm going to put another woman, Charlotte. I think Charlotte would be a good one because she's a really good heel. I think she'll go down like in history as one of the best women heels in like women's history for sure. I think she's a really good heel. That's my 5.
I like it. Definitely would. Thank you, Stan. Appreciate that. Yeah, I would love to see it. Hopefully, we get it soon. But we gotta find something else to collab on. I feel like actually, if they do it right, I wouldn't mind. Huh?
There's a new one. I saw a commercial for it the other day when I was watching NXT. It's something like a docu-series. A&E. I think that's coming back. If you wanted to look into that.
Okay, we definitely can do that then because you're not gonna block collabs. But I mean, yeah, I definitely can see that. I definitely can see that happening. I thought AJ Lee was pretty good too. She was definitely somebody you kind of had to be annoyed by. But I love AJ Lee. But yeah, as always, guys, I guess I don't know when the WWE and Evil gonna figure that out, but we will be back soon to do more collabs. Definitely is Dark Side of the Ring. That's very true. It definitely is. But as always, guys, thank you guys. What do you have coming up?
I will be streaming later. I'm trying to get back up with that. So it's Shay Sawyer's. That's it. Twitch. And I'm also on Tuesdays with my favorite guy co-host, which is Bad Guy Jack. We'll be doing NXT. Yes.
As for me, as you know, I do many things, and so I'm on Women's Wrestling Talk. Actually, right after this, I will be back on Twitch with Stephanie. doing NXT and NXT UK. I'm also doing Indie Edition Indies with Women's Wrestling Talk on Tuesdays now, and we're gonna probably get some interviews, so that should be cool. I'm on my In Cat We Trust YouTube. I'm all over social media, as you guys know. And if you are in Brooklyn, in August, I will be ring announcer for Black Girl Magic, and so that should be pretty awesome. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with us as always, and we will be back hopefully very soon to go hang out with you guys because it's always fun. It's always a good time. And until next time, guys, love you guys. Bye.